Hey there, we are back again. Welcome to Stutter, my YouTube channel where we talk about stuttering, stammering, and everything speech impediment, or whatever you want to call it. Today I want to talk about a fluency technique, which is something that I wish that someone told me when I was growing up, preferably during my developmental years. I think that I probably would have been in a much better position had I known it in terms of my speech. But I think this is worth a vlog. As usual, I encourage you to comment down below, especially if you are a person with the same issue as I do, which is stuttering. So let me go ahead and stretch first, and then we'll take off. All right. So what we're going to discuss this evening, as I'm doing my usual evening walk, is if you are going to stutter easily. Learn how to stutter easily. Just a couple of videos back, I did say that the way you talk is not normal, but it is familiar, meaning that that's the way you grew up talking. Somewhere along the lines, as you were growing up as a young person, the way that your speech evolved, it evolved into a stutter, where that most of the cases it just naturally would evolve and be fluent. But that wasn't the case for you, which explains why that we are about 1% of the population. But yeah, so if you're gonna stutter, do it easily. If you can't afford to stutter, you will. Meaning, if you are going into a situation and you can't afford to stutter, you will. I.e., if you're going to do a speech in public, in front of a large audience or small, it doesn't matter. If you are stressing that, okay, maybe you can't, you can't mess this up because maybe your parents are up there watching you, or friends, and you don't want to lose your friends or be made fun of, or maybe there's that one hot chick that's in the audience that you don't want to lose face while she's up there looking at you. You definitely will mess everything up. Whatever you're doing that involves your speech, start to condition yourself where that you can afford to screw things up, and that is okay. And the reason why that it's important to see things that way is that, first and foremost, when you do that, it's going to relieve you of stress, because before you attempt to easy stutter, okay, which is the art of stuttering easily, before you attempt this, you must try to be as calm as you can possibly humanly be. So whatever you're doing, always be that guy in the room who can afford to mess things up. You can afford to stutter. Go into the situation being able to afford to stutter. For example, if you're going to do a speech, screw it. Go and do it. Don't care about what your parents are going to think because they're looking at you. And as far as your friends, one thing to consider, should you stutter and they make fun of you, then they weren't your friends anyway. Get new ones. Get better ones. Okay? If there's a hot chick that you want to impress, or you don't want them to know that you have this problem, well, one thing I can say about that is, if this girl is a crush, meaning you're not dating her, she's not dating you, well, again, who cares? She's not dating you. She's not giving you her time. So why do you care? And if she happens to be your girlfriend, let's say that you have a girlfriend and I don't know, somehow you've managed to hide this from her, and this is the moment of truth where that she's gonna find out that you have this issue. If she makes fun of you, then get a new girlfriend, get a better girlfriend. So now that you're going into the situation not caring and being able to afford a stutterer too, now you're calmer. Okay, yeah, people's dogs, man, get on my last nerves. But anyway, now you can afford to stutter, which means that you will start to feel relaxed. Now, the point of easy stutter is to accomplish one of two things. While you're speaking, you will either be completely fluent, or if you're gonna stutter, you're gonna stutter in control. For example, if you're trying to say the sky is blue, you will either say the sky is blue, or something like the sky is blue 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 blue. Now there is a big difference when you're having problems saying the sentence, but yet you're in control, because you could be saying it like the sky. So there's a big difference where you're stuttering in control and you're stuttering out of control. The point of easy stutter is that when you stutter, which the point is not to be fluent, is for you to be in control through your stuttering. It's a big difference. You must understand it. So when you are trying to easy stutter, your biggest challenge will be something that I've mentioned, I think, a couple of videos back. It's called time anxiety. That's going to be your biggest challenge. So what is it? So yes, with time anxiety, that's what happens while that you're having difficulty speaking, which actually makes your speech worse, because what it is that you get stuck, and while you're stuck, for every second that passes by, it feels like it's an hour, right? So that you kind of get into the mindset, well, hurry up, because the person who's listening to you is probably going to lose interest, and then so you try to hurry up, and what that does is it raises your stress level, making you more anxious, and your time anxiety goes up because you're trying to hurry up and get it out. That's the worst thing you can do. Hurry up and get it out. What you need to start to believe and start to adjust with is that unless there's a fire, somebody will wait to hear what you have to say. So what you do when you're trying to fight this anxiety is simply wait. Take a second or two before you speak. And the point of that is to fight the urge to start to speak quickly or to hurry up to get it out. Resist the urge. Yes, now you should feel uncomfortable, right? You will feel, and if you feel that, good. Give yourself an uncomfortable 1 to 3 seconds, and then you start speaking. So just remember that this technique, it is not meant to make you fluent, though you will have periods of fluency if you do it correctly. But what you're trying to master is your time anxiety, and to be able to stutter easily, as in stuttering while you're in control and not be at the mercy of your speech, right? When you wait for that uncomfortable 2 to 3 seconds to pass, you will get a sense of relief where that you will sense that your sense of urgency that you had before is gonna go away. And that's the window for you to start speaking. And you speak slowly, okay? And you go syllable by syllable. And yes, you will get stuck, okay? Because you have a speech impediment. And every time once you get stuck, you will again start to feel this anxiety building up. Resist it. Stop speaking. Take a break. Breathe and go again. And this will be very, very difficult for you to do because you've been accustomed to speaking one way your entire life. Because I'm assuming that you who are watching this video probably has never went to any kind of speech therapy. So that's the way that you've been, for your entire life, and you are used to speaking this way. But you have to seriously try to fight this, and you'll realize that as you master this, you will become more and more in control. Not fluent, but more and more in control of your speech. And that's the point. This is a very effective trick. Now for those of you who've watched my videos, I've said at some point, no two stutters will stutter for the same reason or have the same triggers. Okay, so this might not work for you, and if it doesn't, don't get discouraged. It just means that there's another kind of technique that will work for you. There are hundreds. There's lots of techniques out there. So don't worry about that. So with that being said, what kind of stutterer would benefit from this? I think the type of stutterer who would benefit from such a technique is a stutterer that has a lot of anxiety when they speak, as in they feel like they have to rush all the time, or they tend to rush and try to speak fast, and that will give them the block. Those are the kind of stutterers I think would really benefit from this technique. And this is where that knowing your stutter is important. I think I've done a video about this. So know yourself, know your stutter, how you stutter, and what your triggers are, and if they match what I've said. Like if you sense a lot of times that like you have to hurry up and talk, because I have this issue a lot, like you have to hurry up, this technique will help you immensely. And I wish that someone told me this as I was growing up, but this is something that I had to figure out all on my own. But hopefully that you are young, and you will know, now you know about this now, and that way you don't have to go out there and find out the hard way, the way I did. So try to easy stutter. Okay, just remember, it's not about being fluent. It's about controlling your stutter, where that you're not stuck forever on a syllable, where that though that you are stuttering, but you're moving consistently towards the end of the sentence. All right, so just to give you an example, currently I'm serving in the military. I've been in the military now for going on 23 years within a few months, soon to retire. Woohoo! And a couple of days ago, I had a meeting with with lots of top brass. We even had a 2-star commanding general who was there, and I had to brief him and all of his subordinates. And I had to brief a couple of slides, and there were 3 slides. And I remember going in there, I was nervous because of my speech as usual. But first thing first, I showed up early. I showed up about half an hour early, got in the room, sat down, and I was breathing in and out. I was doing relaxation, breathing exercises, relax and relax and relax. And then when everybody started to file in, and then once that he showed up, of course everybody stood up to attention, and then of course the meeting started shortly after. And then when my slides came, I got up and looked at the slide, looked at my paper, and I took an uncomfortable second or two. As a matter of fact, before that I even talked, I looked up and I saw the general looking at me funny, like, okay, is he gonna start? But I felt the time anxiety. I mean, it was there, and I resisted and resisted and resisted until that I started to speak. And I had large chunks of moments where I was fluent. It's because the anxiety went down to 0, and as soon as I got stuck on my first word, I could feel it coming. I took an uncomfortable pause again, and it went down, and I kept on talking. And even when I stuttered on a few words, I was moving forward, and everybody kind of saw that I had an issue with my speech, but I was moving forward, so they were able to understand and listen, because they came here to listen to me brief these slides. So like I said before, people will listen to you unless that there's a fire. People will wait. So I briefed the slides, and I have to say I felt pretty good about myself, because I knew how bad it could have went. Because I remember blocks I used to have as a kid, and man, it was horrible, but I was able to do this. And this was like one of the situations where like nerves were at all times high, because you have a 2-star general in the room, and it's a lot of that could cause a lot of stress for me, and this technique worked. Now, I'm sorry about the camera, guys. It refuses to focus, but I figured it's okay, because it's not about what I'm filming really. It's about what I'm saying. So, yeah. So try to easy stutter. I will hit on this a few times in the future. But yeah, try to easy stutter. Calm down. Okay, do relaxation, breathing exercises, and resist what we call time anxiety. Do not rush. Take that uncomfortable second or two, and you'll notice that your time anxiety will go down to 0, and that's when you start to speak. And even when you are speaking, do not rush. Go slowly and try to move through your blocks with light contacts. Like for example, there's a big difference between saying or the sky is blue. Or you could get stuck on the or sky or is or blue for a minute. It's a big difference. And just remember, this technique is not about fluency. It's about controlling your stutter, where that though you are stuttering, you are still in control. So I hope this video was short, because I try to keep those short. I hope you guys are out there crushing it. Don't let your speech stop you from doing what you want to do or live a fruitful life. I hope you guys are out there again crushing it. See you on the next one.